Welcome to a very special episode of Let's Talk Broncos. Before we get into it, I want to say happy St. Patrick's Day to all. I'm Bree Maestas here with Zach Seegers and Joey Richards. Guys, we have a heck of a show for everyone today. Quickly, how are you and where's your green?
Yeah, I threw on some green and I realized I'm like, dude, I'm recording a podcast. I don't have to put green on for the podcast. That is something I just don't feel like I have to do. So I'm here. I'm excited for the show. We have a very special guest, one that, got a brand new contract. I'm excited to congratulate him here. And I know everyone was stoked about it. So, yeah, this episode should be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. I missed the last one. I can't believe I missed the last one, and glad we got him back. It's perfect timing and all that. I can't wait to have him on. Let's get right to it.
Locked in for another episode of Let's Talk Broncos as luck would have it. I can't think of a better time to have our next guest on. News broke yesterday that the Denver Broncos had re-signed safety PJ Locke. And I know Broncos country was just excited as we are. So PJ, thank you for joining us tonight, bring you onto the show. How are you doing?
I'm stoked right now. I'm back being a Denver Bronco, and, I'm ready to get to it, get the Broncos back where we should be.
We surely appreciate you joining us tonight. There's been an outpouring of love and support once it was announced that you were returning. As we signed off last year, after your first appearance on the show, you thanked Broncos country and you said you see yourself sticking around. It's that time now. You're locked down in Denver for 2023. So congratulations. And how has the journey been?
It's been a roller coaster for sure. Just starting off in Pittsburgh and then the XFL situation, and then coming back to Denver, and I had some other offers on the table, and I feel like it made more sense just to stay in Denver. I feel like it's gonna give me the best way to develop as a player, staying around Justin Simmons and staying around my boy Caden and Coach CP. So I'm super excited, and then obviously got to be excited for Sean Payton with all this experience that he has, Super Bowl experience that he has. And yeah, man, I'm super stoked about it.
I bet you are, man. I mean, I think, man, everybody was excited for it. Seriously, everybody was excited for it. People wanted you back, and that was apparent. Like, it didn't take much on the Twitter timeline or Instagram or any social media to see that people wanted PJ Locke back in a Broncos uniform this next year. But yeah, you mentioned, you had some other offers on the table. I'm not going to be that guy that asks you what offers you had, but I will ask you, like, what is the process like? That's something I'm always curious about as a just fan of the NFL, right? Like, what is it like being a free agent? And then, yeah, what is that like?
Well, I think it's pretty much just a waiting game. Obviously, I have an agent. I have a great agent, and David Mulligetta is one of the best in the game, if not the best. Yeah. And I feel like, my job was to take care of what I did during the season. And, he kind of takes over in the offseason. And it's just a waiting game, trying to kind of see, like, what teams are talking about and kind of go from there. And he asked me, like, what's the best, what do you feel like, the best opportunity would be for you? And I kind of told him. And, it was back in Denver. So, I'm back.
Yeah, congratulations. So I won't ask, what other offers you got either, but I am curious. You have really great agent representation right now. But last time you were on the show, one thing that stuck out to me was how you talked about your story to the league and how your first go around, you maybe didn't have the best representation and someone that maybe didn't put you in a position to succeed as a undrafted college free agent. What is your take on kind of the whole Lamar Jackson debate going on right now about players maybe representing themselves? Because I feel like you've experienced both ends of the agent spectrum.
Mm-hmm. Well, for him, I feel like I really don't want to get too much into it, but I would say, man, for him, like, we see it each and every given Sunday, man. This guy was an MVP. So, with his stats and everything, like, it only makes sense for him just to pay him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see what's the hold up, honestly. I don't know, like, the deeper logistics of the situation, but I mean, from my eyes, it's just like, man, just pay this dude. Just pay this dude. He did his dues. Now pay him. Pay him. So that's all I can really say about it, man. Agent or no agent, like, it's clear and concise what we see on the field every Sunday. Like, pay this man his money.
Absolutely.
Yes, man. I was so new Broncos free agent. They just signed Ben Powers. I was going back and watching some of his tape, and obviously with the Baltimore Ravens, and he man, when you sit there and actually sit down and watch Lamar Jackson, you're not just sitting there watching that TV copy. It is so apparent how good this guy is. I just want everyone to know, like, he is unbelievable. And people knock his throwing, but it's not bad at all, especially over the middle, man. He's a magician at that over the middle over the field throwing. And then also when you match that with his running ability, he's amazing. I agree with you, PJ. Sign that, man. I don't know what they're waiting for.
Exactly. No idea.
We got to talk about magicianry, right? With the Denver Broncos, they were able to make magic happen by bringing you back. You alluded to it earlier about the excitement surrounding Sean Payton. How do you feel about that news? And then also the introduction to Vance Joseph ensures that Christian Parker is back as your defensive backs coach. How important is that with the identity that you and the other members of your unit and the secondary have worked to kind of create an identity and an era of the defense, and how both coaches returning and new coaches kind of play into that aspect of it?
Well, I would say it's always good. I mean, in my situation also, it's always good to come back home to like a familiar face. You know what I'm saying? Don't have to really rework some type of chemistry, anything like that. It's already there now. It's all about really just picking up the playbook, picking up the culture and whatsoever. But as far as like, man, just playing for a guy like Sean Payton, man, I had a conversation with him, and a lot of things were positive. He said there was going to be a lot of change going on. All season is going to be a lot different. So I'm all for change. As you guys know my story, man, it's just constant changing. And I always try to look at the upside, the optimistic sides of things, like bringing in a new coach. Each coach gonna have something new to their tool belt that you can add. And that's what I'm always trying to search. I'm trying to search for. Always trying to find new ways to develop as a player, and as a man at the same time. So it's not always a bad thing for coaching change. Obviously we love Coach Hackett and everything like that. It didn't work out, but as the NFL, things happen. Change happens all the time. So, but yeah, for as far as like Coach Vance Joseph and Sean Payton, man, I'm like just super excited for what they bring to the table and how they can, advance my game.
I feel like you've been around so many different coaches, from your time with the Steelers, your time at Texas, now your time with the Broncos, of course. You've experienced a lot of turnover there. Do you feel like there is, and even down to the position coach level, guys like Christian Parker who have really stood out, do you feel like there is one signifier to you, that one thing that all the great coaches have in common, or at least one great trait that stands out to you right now, as when you have your next coach, you really hope they have this trait?
I'm real big on transparency. I'm real big on if there's something wrong in my game, something I'm doing throughout the season, throughout training camp, OTAs, that you feel like I need to work on, and it, like I like to be told those things. I'm always a guy that I like to ask for feedback. So I don't like any sugarcoat stuff like that. I need to know what it is so I can attack it. That's the type of guy I am. I'm a attack mentality type of guy. And so, that's how I made it in the league the last, 4 or 5 years, coming as an undrafted guy. I just got to continually find my weaknesses and work on them. So that's my biggest thing with transparency. And that's also a conversation I had with George Payton, Sean Payton, and Coach CP. So I haven't really talked to Vance Joseph yet, but pretty sure it's going to be the same thing. But also, with new coaches coming in, just to be able to adapt to players, adapt to different play styles, and adjust some type of defense to their play style, the way that we like. But other than that's pretty much it. That's pretty much, I feel like that's what makes a good coach.
There you go, man. Like that is a big thing. And you, like Zach said, you have experienced it more than anybody. So you've gone through a lot of coaches right now, especially in your NFL career, man. Hopefully, I'm pretty confident that Sean Payton's going to stick around for a good while. But I do, and just adding on to what you said there, there's this term players coach, right? A lot of people throw that around. This guy's a players coach. This guy's a players coach. In your opinion, what makes a players coach?
Like I said, that's the thing. Like just adapting to players, adapting to, certain personalities and things like that. I feel like if you be too buddy with players, then I think that's what stuff get kind of out of hand. But I don't know. That's actually like just a super good question, man. Because I don't know. You can't be too much of a coach, because now we can't meet in the middle. But if you're too much of a players coach for say, like, it won't work out. So I feel like you just gotta be somewhat in the middle. And I really don't know what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know what it looks like. So that's why it's such a good question. But yeah, man, I don't know.
ultimate balancing act, man. That does not sound easy.
No, what I think stands out, though, is that you're looking for a leader of men, a leader of the locker room. But you know what being a leader has, and it has a lot of definitions here, but you're no stranger to the role, specifically when it's coming to the NFL. So during free agency, teams tend to move on from the torchbearers in the locker room. But how does 2023 kind of feel different regarding your role as a leader for the Denver Broncos defense? And how do you think that that's going to evolve its identity moving forward?
23 looks different because, well, for one, we have Sean Payton. He's going to come in, establish a culture. For two, for me, it's just I want to just continue to develop as a player, and one day become a starter, and that's what it is. People throw special teams around a lot. And I'm not, knocking special teams by any means. And wherever I'm at, I'm gonna give you my all at the end of the day, But my biggest goal is to be a starter in this league, whether that's here, whether it's somewhere else. Like that's my goal. So, I just want to, like I said, I want to be in a place where I want to develop as a player from all my coaches, demand the best out of me to where I get to that point. So I feel like Denver gave me the best opportunity to do that.
There you go.
Absolutely. And talking about, I guess, developing your game, stepping into that defensive role, a bit of a two-parter here. One, is there anything you've seen, maybe looking over Vance Joseph's defense since he's been hired, where you're like, ooh, I'm really excited how he uses safeties in this way. I'm excited to do that on the field. And two, recently in the NFL, I feel like one of the big defensive trends, defensive innovations we've seen is using more three safety looks. You guys did it a lot last year in dime. You played that role a lot. I imagine that might be some of the development you're talking about. I'm curious, what advantages do you think that those three safety looks present a defense, and what problems do you think they present the offense?
That's a good question too. I would say, as far as like advantages with a three safety defense, you having three DBs on the field, three extra, was it five? I'm tripping. Six extra DBs on the field, right?
Yeah.
Adding another safety is just adding somebody with more athletic ability to be able to cover. You will have a guy that's, that can play in a box, that can guard big tight ends, can fit the run if need be, depending on the situation. I feel like it presents it's tough for offense because, there's really not a lot of mismatch. Obviously when you plug a third safety into the game, it's like you would think like that third safety might be a mismatch, but it's really not, versus the tight end, but it's really not, because for a lot of us, it's like it's a little disrespectful to, get a ball caught on us, by a tight end. Yeah. So that's kind of like the mentality. But yeah, I think it's tough in that way. And then you can like just mix up different disguises, different looks, to where, it's hard for a quarterback to recognize what type of coverage we're about to run, depending on, because I know we show a lot of shell. But as far as like Vance Joseph, I'm excited because it's gonna be a lot of carryover. Obviously like the defense will be somewhat different, but it's a lot of carryover. I feel like the thing that will make it hard is just the terminology. And I feel like right now, that's probably what they're in the works of doing right now, kind of like having some type of carryover with the terminology at least, so for where when we come back in, we can like pick it up pretty quickly and then kind of establish, our base stuff and what we like and, what we'll hone in to run during the season. So.
Absolutely. I know you talked about that being super valuable when Evero came in last year.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
Yeah, man. I'm curious. I want to kind of move this over to Zach kind of mentioned it with positions, but it seems like this locker room, especially in the secondary, it might be getting a little younger. It might be this next year.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we hate, but Ronald Darby and Kareem Jackson are both free agents. I hope both of them are brought back on some sort of deal.
Right.
Ronald Darby was he's so underrated. He was a really great corner last year. And those four, yes, people do not give him credit, especially for those first 4 games. Surtain obviously gets a lot of the credit, a lot of it, but Darby was a dog last year. And then Kareem Jackson, I've always said that he is one of the, or probably the best tackling DB I've seen since I started watching football. But how do you replace those guys? Let's say the Broncos do leave. How do you replace those guys in a veteran role, right? Because those are 2 vets that are leaving the locker room. That kind of leaves you Justin Simmons. And then it's a younger group around there. So I'm curious just how you replace them. And then what do vets mean to a locker room just generally?
Well, I'll answer the first question as far as what does vets mean to the locker room? Man, vets just brings in a whole different dynamic of experience. They know all the different ins and outs of the league, of offense, of the front office, so they can give you those type of experiences and those type of that type of information. And as far as replacing them, and you can't, especially a guy like Kareem and Darby, you can't replace them. You can't. The best thing you can do is try to fill the shoes, but it's no way. Especially Kareem, that's one of the guys I hang out with the most, and
right.
He knows how to narrow the gap between the young guys and the old guys. It's crazy how he bridges the gap. He's 34, 35 years old right now, and it's just it doesn't seem like it at all. It doesn't seem like it at all because he's the one that orchestrates the DB dinners and the DB trips after the season and
that's cool.
All these community events and flying from after the season, flying for everybody's camps and foundations and stuff like that. He's the one that orchestrates it. So he kind of put it in everybody's head you got to be supportive of one another. And that's why, I feel like that's one of the main reasons why we play so hard and play so good in the secondary, man, because of the things we did off the field, And, you got a guy like Darby, man, just has so much experience, has Super Bowl experience, and, just how he goes about his work, and how he finishes, in walkthroughs and practice. I remember seeing, I just always admire how he, we'll be in walkthroughs and, receiver break off on a route, and he's it's walkthrough for him, in the initial phase of the route, and then he finishes hard. The ball won't even be thrown to him. We're not throwing the ball, but he's always finishing hard through the receiver, And I always looked at that and I was like, man, that's a great habit, That's a great habit because I notice sometimes for me, it's I'll have a good break coming out and, I'll look for the ball and I kind of slow down, and I'll be the difference between a pick and a PBU. So things like that I kind of honed in on this offseason came from Darby and came from K-Jack. So, you just, I don't know. Nobody can really replace those guys, man. It's just, you can't do it. All you can do is really learn from them and kind of create your own path, and follow their footsteps in a way. But other than that, man, it's, if we lose them completely, that'll be a huge loss, man. It'll be a huge loss.
Totally.
Every single player or personnel that we ask about Kareem Jackson touts him as just an extraordinary leader on and off the field. We obviously had Caden Stearns on the show previously a couple weeks ago. We asked about his impact of Kareem Jackson and got a lot of the same sentimentality there. But I also wanted to ask about the role and the impact of your camaraderie and your rapport that you have, obviously playing together first at Texas and then reuniting in Denver. Can you speak to your bond with Caden Stearns and other teammates first collegiately and then in the NFL?
Okay. Yeah, man, I remember if Caden first came in, I remember seeing his film at Texas and being recruited. He was going to LSU, and he had like a little visit to Texas. And I was telling him, I was like, man, look, you need to come here. You know what I'm saying? This is the spot for you. I said, I don't know if I'll be here because I plan on leaving my junior year, but, I end up getting hurt and all, whatever. But I was like, man, you need to be here, bro. Like this is DBU,
Right.
Obviously, like I'm not trying to knock LSU or anybody else, but I'm like, yo, this is DBU. Like how everybody, all the DBs come back and support us, and you need to be here, and your name need to be in the record books at Texas. You need to have a plat somewhere, So he ended up, we had a great time, and he ended up flipping. And I just remember the first time we had like spring ball. I don't know if I mentioned this on the last show or not, but I remember like he was kind of like earning his way up, and he was going like the twos or something. I was like on the sideline, and he was like on the far end of the safety. I don't know if they ran, it was a route that happened. It might've been like in cover 2, or I don't know, or he was in the middle of the field. I can't remember, but I remember something happened on the opposite end where I was. He was at safety, and I don't know if it was a corner route thrown or it was like a fade route. And he did some type of, he broke on the ball from the post or from the half, and he made the like acrobatic catch. And I was like, oh yeah, he for real. He for real. I remember that. Like I vividly remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And from that season, he came in and like he had 4 picks as a freshman. I remember one from TCU game, and he was playing kind of like down low in kind of like the dime area.
Right.
And he picked off, it was like in a 3 under 3 deep look, and he picked something off kind of similar how he played versus the Colts. It was like something real similar to that. He picked that off and, almost ran it back for a touchdown. But, he always getting his feet caught up or something like that. But we ain't gonna say nothing about that, Kay. We ain't gonna say nothing. But like I just knew, man, I always knew from that point on, like after he made that play in the springtime, I was like, man, this dude is gonna be for real, and he has first round ability, and from that point on, like me and him has kind of been like 2 army knives just sharpening each other up. And he has so much knowledge. He came into Texas with so much knowledge for the game, and like I admire that. And I was like, man, you don't realize I'm older than you, but you don't realize, bro, you helped me a lot. You might think I'm helping you, but bro, you helped me a lot, because he has so much knowledge, and just the way he plays, he's so smooth. I'm more like an explosive, change the direction guy. Caden is more like he's long and he's super athletic, super got deep ball skills and things like that. So it's ways. So I'm trying to improve my game on that. So he helps me a lot with like the IQ of the game and stuff like that. So we kind of like just help each other. And it was just crazy. I'm with the Broncos, and I actually go to like his draft day. And
that's cool.
Like super stressed out and whatever. And I was like, yo, bro, just relax. Like I'm telling you, I've been through it before. Team's gonna tell you you're gonna get drafted this round, you get drafted 3 rounds later. Like, relax. Like you're gonna be in the NFL. I understand, like, you got a chip on your shoulder, you wanna go, day one. But hey, look, at the end of the day, like you gonna make some money in this league. One day or another. Like just keep piecing years together, you're gonna make some money. But yeah, end up getting drafted, man. It's like just crazy. Nothing fell off. Still hang out from time to time. The only thing that's different is I got a family now. So it's just like,
right.
I got a family now. So like I can't really just hang out like we were in college. But other than that, man, that's my guy, man. Like I'm super proud of him. And I know one day, man, he's gonna be one of the top paid safeties in his league. And I wholeheartedly believe in that.
I fully agree. You guys did some great things at Texas together, and I'm curious, Austin. So I almost looked at going to Texas myself when I was looking at colleges, and I loved Austin. I love the food there. I've been trying to pitch Joey and Bree actually on us taking like a podcast trip down to Austin. If we were to go, what are like a handful of spots, restaurants, 6th Street locations, just where Barton Springs, what is it? Where are the spots we have to make sure we go in Austin, Texas? What are the local
let me think. Okay, for sure. When you go back to Austin, you either have to have the barbecue or you have to have the Mexican food.
Right.
Why are we excluding ourselves here?
Yeah, that's top. Say it again.
I said, why not both? I know I look scrawny, but I eat.
Oh
Man.
yeah,
I
yeah.
go hard.
Go for both. Go for
Yeah.
both. You know, you're gonna get the best experience. You go for both. So the main place I like is I like Torchy's. I don't know. Torchy's is different in Austin than it is out here. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of stuff is different out here. You know, like a lot of stuff is not seasoned. You know, I'm a down south, Southeast Texas guy, so things are seasoned, like really, really seasoned. You know, and so come out here, it's like it's not as seasoned. It's almost bland in a way.
Trashing the Denver
Hey, we're
food
not
scene.
beating
Okay.
the stereotypes in Colorado.
I know I'm gonna get some backlash for it, but hey, look,
Yeah.
we can go toe to toe with Southeast Texas food and Denver food. We can all day. So
He's willing to stand on it. All right.
yeah, I'm gonna stand on that. But yeah, I would say Chewy's is one other place. It's one other place. I really can't think of it right now. But yeah, I would say you probably have to taste Torchy's and Chewy's would be the other one. I cannot remember the other place. It's like right off the shore, literally.
We'll just
Probably
go
like-
hungry. It's okay,
Yeah.
PJ.
No. Yeah, it just when we go, we're gonna hit you up. We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. I literally forgot about the place. But yeah, it's like right off the shore.
I went to
And
Salt Lake last time, like the 30-minute drive out of town, and that barbecue changed my life.
you say what was it called?
The Salt Lake
barbecue
joint outside of town, that changed my life. I've been thinking about it ever since.
Yeah, I like the hole in the wall place. There was a place like right off campus called Bacon, and it was like burgers with omelets on it. And man, they closed it down for whatever reason. I haven't been back in a while, but I hope they reopen. But man, that was like the spot to go to. We wake up in the morning for like brunch and we're going straight there. You know, so
all right. Well, Zach, you just have you got an ally now. We might be heading to Austin. You might have just convinced us, PJ.
He's recruiting everybody.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if there's a Pluckers out here. I don't think so.
No,
no, there's not.
Yeah, go try Pluckers.
Pluckers too.
Pluckers.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
There you go.
You're getting all
wings.
Right.
Y'all could use some good wings out here too. Besides King of Wings. King
Wings. I asked you what was your favorite wing spot last time. Was it King of Wings?
You said a bowling alley.
No,
you said there was some bowling alley.
Yeah, you said it was a bowling alley.
Oh, Arapahoe Bowling.
Yeah, I said that's probably what it was.
Arapahoe Bowling, and the other spot is really starting to grow on me. It's also like on Arapahoe. It's like Celebrity Lanes.
Celebrity Lanes. I think that's what you told me about.
Yeah.
You said those are the best wings. I still need to try those out.
Yeah, so Arapahoe is more. It's just fried wings, and those got to be careful with those because they'll upset the stomach real quick.
Right.
Yeah, and then Celebrity Lanes. You know, we mix flavors. We used to go bowling like a lot. So we normally get like buffalo lemon pepper, like a mix. And man, that's like the best shit ever.
I absolutely love this. I think PJ is the reason that Let's Talk Broncos decided to make almost weekly bowling lane trips the last time that you were on the show. So thank you so much for being a positive influence on the Let's Talk Broncos crew. But all right, maybe the seasoning in Colorado is not up to snuff, but what is the cold and snowy weather. You recently were up on the slopes and you clocked 48.5 miles per hour. Did I read that correctly? Can you tell me a little bit about the thrill on the mountain and how that kind of differentiates from running out of the tunnel on Sunday? I know it's not comparable, but I know it's different.
Oh man, it's like, I don't know. I kind of like just fell in love with snowboarding, man. I would say this happened like last year. We took a trip to Aspen last year and I tried it out. I always skied. I probably went skiing like 2 or 3 times when I was younger, and that's all I did. And snowboarding, it kind of like just messed with my head, just having both of my feet locked in, and but I actually heard it was safer, so I was like, let me give that a try, because it's a lot serious now as far as like injuries. So like, let's give snowboard a try since it's more, it's a lot safer. But anyway, I tried, man. I bust my butt like at least 100 times the first time, and I got a thrill out of that. I'm kind of a guy. I'm like a perfectionist, so I got to get it right. But I kept going back. I probably went back like 3 weeks in a row, not to Aspen, but I was going to like Loveland. And I ended up getting like good. I was taking trips by myself. You know, that's how dedicated I was. So,
Right.
so I ended up getting like really good. So we went back to Aspen this year. I was ready. And went to Aspen. We had Snowmass. Snowmass was you know, super big area. You know, it didn't matter how many people it was. You had like a lot of room to maneuver. And then the next day we went to Aspen. Aspen Mountain. And Aspen Mountain is like super, super steep. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let it rip. That's what I'm gonna do.
You went straight down.
And like the thrill I get out of that is like the adrenaline rush of like going super fast. The wind is just all in your face. And you know, I have like this little slopes app, and you know, it calculates my speed. It'll calculate how far you go up the mountain, and you know, the average speed and the top speed. So it's like I'm competing with myself every time I go up. So, you know, I think I might have hit like 41 or something like that the first time. And I was like, okay, try to hit somewhere close to 50. Went down. It was like super steep. I kind of stayed on the straightaway. I didn't do any kind of like S patterns. Went straight away. And I came back down. I was like, time to go. I'm good. 48, I'm good. Let's go home. So
do any of the other Broncos skiers snowboard?
They like attempted. I would say they got like lessons and stuff like that. But
you're saying you're the best.
Oh yeah. Oh wait. It's one guy in particular. My guy, Alex, he grew up in the mountains, so like he don't really count. Let's say that because he's been doing it all his life, so he don't really count. But other than that, yeah, we are. I got to be like the second best at least. The second best.
Second best on the team. Okay. All right, write that down.
Yeah. Petition to get us the Broncos Winter Olympics. Let's do it.
Oh, look. I call myself Sean Black.
That's hilarious. There you go. Man, that would be a funny view trip watching you guys go up there. That would be good stuff.
I got a few videos, man. So kind of like just I'm going down, I'm holding my phone kind of like this, you know, so I can like see the path. And I got some face plants. So.
Well, I definitely want specific rights to air those on our YouTube page, but we won't do you dirty like that. It would just be fun. The camaraderie.
Bloopers.
We'll make a bloopers reel and we'll run it. We'll get it some run for sure.
We'll film free camera people. We'll be your free camera people.
It's a lot of like background noise, like, you know, some cussing in the background falling. So, you know,
even better. That's the goal. That's the goal. So Deion Sanders also, you know, come into the Colorado area, Southern boy himself. He's been making fun of our food too. He talked about, he's been reviewing the joints. But he also just fell in love with the snow. He's been snowmobiling and talked about how he just fell in love with it. I'm curious, going back, kind of talking about coaching and your college experience. If you were coming out and you know, last time on the show, you talked about how Troy Polamalu was your favorite safety. If Troy Polamalu was the coach at University X, you know, maybe not a big school, kind of like how CU doesn't have a prolific football program, would that have moved the needle on it for you at all on the recruiting trail where, all right, I've got blue blood Texas, but man, playing for Troy Polamalu at CU could be pretty cool. How impactful would that be on your recruiting situation?
Oh man, it's just playing for a guy that's got that experience, that's been there, done it before. It's literally did the things that you want to do, you know. From that aspect of it, man, it's really no better teacher than a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody that's been through it. And that would be huge, especially like if it's Troy Polamalu for me, because I'm gonna pick your brain. You know, I might bug you and, you know, be in your office all the time. Like, man, how do you see this? How do you see that? How do you disguise this and this coverage? Or, you know, what's the best way to play this type of receiver versus this one? And I was just really like diving into it and picking his brain and, you know, getting all the information that I can, because if you don't, like, what's the point of playing for him at that point, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's how I feel about that. And I feel like a lot of people right now should just, you know, a lot of those players should take the opportunity to bug Deion Sanders, you know, because he's the best of the best, you know. So I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, you know what I'm saying? So why not? You know, why waste the opportunity? Why be scared to ask questions? Why? There's no stupid questions. There's no stupid questions at all. It don't matter what anybody else say in the room. Like if you feel a certain type of way, if it's not making sense in your head, man, ask the question. Ask the question, because other than that, you're gonna go on the field and the question is still gonna linger in your head, and now you're not playing up to 100% because it's like this 2% question that you didn't ask. Now you at 98. You know, it's just things like that, man. You want to try to be at 100 every single time, at least mentally, So.
Yeah, I want to keep the conversation cornerback. We mentioned Deion Sanders. I want to talk about a Broncos corner, though, and I want to talk about Damari Mathis. You know, he came in last year. I think he was a 4th or 5th round pick. I'm kind of forgetting, but from Pitt. And, man, from that first game to that last game he played, I saw major improvements. And I was just wondering if you could go on that and tell us a little about his game and what you see in Damari Mathis.
Well, man, I seen it firsthand with Damari just in training camp, man. Just like the way he trying to acclimate to the NFL, you know, and how coverages are ran and how offenses run their stuff, and like just his route recognition, his play recognition. You can just see throughout training camp how much that started to get better. And I don't know if you guys remember, it was like a clip that he had, and this wasn't in the season, but it was like during training camp, and receiver ran like an over route and he chased it down and picked the ball off, you know, and he knew, like he kind of knew the receiver's going to get like this kind of stair step release going up the field, and then trying to kind of like get him off his angle and then try to beat him to a spot. And Mari didn't even budge at all. You know, he kept getting got on that, and then he didn't budge at all. He just ended up accelerating to this spot, and he ended up picking the ball off, you know, using his speed. And, you know, I could see right there. So, you know, when Darby went down and he went in, you know, it was no doubt in my mind what type of you know, production he was gonna give us, you know. And I think about, you know, it's all about a feel of the game, man. It like really don't matter how athletic you are, as long as you got like a real feel for the game, a real feel for like receiver releases and, you know, quarterback cadence, quarterback drops, and their intentions on certain downs, and, you know, if you playing off or supposed to press, and where's the quarterback looking, and
Right.
all those different things. Once you get a feel, it's crazy, because like is really wild how a field can change everything in the dynamic of a game. You know, I don't know if you know, but it's like your adrenaline is really running, you know, starting off the game. But once you ease into the game, it's a whole different mode. And I don't know, once you have that, like, you know, that IQ of the game, that play recognition, it's like at first your athletic ability starts to it's taking over. Right. And then once those like 10, 15 plays is over with, it's all like mental in a way. Yeah. It's all mental. It's all like what do they say?
Like focus?
I can't remember the word. Right. No, it's not focus. I forget. It's all like just basically just rhythm. It's rhythm.
Rhythms, so, like you get those reps.
Yeah.
It's
muscle memory. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Muscle memory. Just like I was telling you about Darby, how he finishes through the ball, even though we were walking through. Right. Walk through. So it's all muscle memory. And yeah, man, just seen it firsthand too. Like throughout the year, he was just getting better and better and better. And man, he's gonna be one hell of a player.
Even like his physicality too, like that's the thing too, is that he's not afraid to come up and hit, and that's something that these corners. I mean, when you watch some corners come out of college, you kind of write that as a little negative on their sheet, like that's something that's constant. He sometimes is just like really aggressive, and that you would rather tune down really aggressive than not any whatsoever.
Right.
And Mathis is aggressive, and he's gonna come down and hit, and then you saw these improvements throughout the year. I'm a big fan of him too.
Oh yeah, you can just see during, you know, watching film and stuff like that. Coaches did a good job of putting him in that situation in practice, and kind of like judging between if the receiver is going to crack block or is he going to run a route. Because most of the time, like those releases kind of look similar, so they do a good job of differentiating, kind of like showing us different releases and stuff. And he was able to like pick that up, and when he got in the game, he just started getting real better at like crack replays. Cool. That's what we say. And you seen it. Like he's coming down.
Cool.
He's not scared. So,
No.
Once he picked it up and got that confidence to, understand a release, he was able to shoot those gaps.
Yeah.
So.
I love it. I love hearing that.
I'm curious, going back to your, I guess, first rookie season, one thing I always love asking guys is, what was your welcome to the NFL moment? If you had one.
Oh, y'all trying to embarrass me, huh? No, that's what you. We was playing the Raiders. We were at the Raiders, and it was kickoff, and it was like I was like the L4, L5, and we kicked the ball to the right. So I'm running down. Normally, like I'm like the first one downfield. That's why I kind of started changing a little bit. Like kind of started changing my pace, literally because of this hit. Just like I'm flying down the field because we used to kick a lot of touchbacks, right? So I'm flying down the field because they was like, man, hey man, if you finish through the line first, we'll give you 1 production point. And I'm like, I'll tell me twice. So I'm taking off. I'm trying to kick the touchback, but B-Mac he didn't kick. Well, he kicked it pretty deep, but they still brought it out. So I'm like the first one down the field. So I'm looking like to the right, and there's like this guy to my far left, like the left tackle, and he's responsible for me. So as I'm running down, I'm like looking all the way to the right, like, okay, I'm trying to like, analyze is something giving me they're gonna cut back or it's gonna stay to the right, and nothing was really giving me anything. So as I'm trying to read, all I feel is my feet lifted off the ground. And I end up on my back, and I see a dude standing over me. I got up. That's the quickest I ever got up in my life because you know how NFL they trying to like give you a little pancake and dive on top of you.
Right.
I'm like, I'm not gonna be that guy. Like you got me initially, like I'm gonna get up, but it was so quick that I don't even remember the number. That's how fast I got up and tried to like play it off. Like I hope nobody seen that. Probably everybody saw it, but
we're still trying to figure out who it was.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out. And I kind of looked back and I seen I can't remember what number it was, but it was the dude was big. It was like 6'4", 250. Yeah. I was like, all right, now I'm running down on kickoff. I'm like, I'm not really full speed, but I'm kind of like I'm ahead on the super, just like this.
Yeah. There's no more dangerous play than that kickoff and kickoff return. That's crazy when it's inbounds and the guy's able to return it. People are just running full speed at each other.
Yeah.
Hitting. If you want to see some hits, watch kickoff.
Yeah, that woke me up. That was like, okay, brother, you're in the NFL. You got to keep your head on the swivel because they are plotting.
Right.
Yeah, so
for sure. Go ahead, Zach.
Sorry. Another kind of reflective one for you here. So last season was obviously really hard for you guys. Injuries, just it not moving up quite to your expectations. I'm curious, just for a positive spin on what was obviously a really hard season. Do you have a positive memory or two, or even a game, a moment in practice, training camp, anything that stands out as maybe a positive memory you'll carry with you from this past season for a long time?
I feel like, man, for us, I feel like as the DBs, we hang out so much that we create so many memories all the time. Whether that's like we do Christmas, we do like a white elephant, and we always pick like a little spot and do like all the things that a white elephant would, and that's always fun because it's like somebody's gonna walk back with something they don't want. Somebody's gonna get something super funny. Somebody's gonna win, a trip, a free trip. So we all gonna be jealous in some type of way. But it's just like a real adrenaline rush. But aside from like just the DBs, I think one of my funniest moments were, when we were on the plane from the London game. London game. I know y'all remember, like it was like just a lot of BS around Russ, doing high knees on the plane, trying to get right. And what's crazy is like Russ sat right next to me, the left. Okay. And, it wasn't nothing crazy. It was just like, man, he was doing like lunges and stuff just to make sure he was right for the game. He had a trainer and everything. And just making sure he was loosened up and everything. I believe like he might have had, I don't know, like an injury or something. So he was trying to work through it, I believe. I can't remember. But
hamster.
I guess he must have told the media that he was on the plane, like doing like a little workout. I mean, we were on the plane for an extended period of time. So obviously if like you missing a full, day of work, then you're gonna stiffen up. So like, I don't know, like they took that and they ran with it. And it was just like a huge joke. And we ended up, beating the Jacksonville Jaguars and got back on the plane, and everybody's just hyped up, and it's just like, yeah, man, we're gonna do some high knees for Russ. How about that? I said on Twitter, I said, we gonna while the plane doing backflips, I'm gonna do some high knees right next to Russ just for y'all, So it was just like you can feel the energy just surrounding him, what I'm saying? Because everything is just like he's spotlighted for everything, like good, bad, and they take it and run with it, But Russ is a genuine guy, so. I don't know why they run with it. Whatever. But that was one of like the funniest moments because you can see like the team camaraderie. Like it was a long trip. Went out there, we had fun. Coaches kind of let us cut loose all week. Went out there, won the game, and got back on the plane. Like all the stuff that Russ, all the stuff surrounding the team with Russ, and all the extra, we kind of turned it into a positive.
Right.
And we was hoping like that would have got the ball rolling. That's what we needed. But whatever, stuff happens. But yeah, that was one of the great moments, because we were just sitting there on the plane. I don't even think I slept back on that long plane ride just because we had so much fun. Just hyped up and like just talking about the game, playing board games and just competing with that. So I don't know, everybody's energy was like uplifted. You had the coaches joining us, and it was a good time, man. It was a good time, and you would have thought that would have been like the turning point of the season. But like I said, and stuff happens, and it's a new year, new life, new opportunities. So hey, here we are, trying to run it back.
There you go. There you go.
Oh man, we could keep asking you questions all night. I do have one kind of follow up prior to going into a little bit of a lightning round. I'll try to get to some fan questions as well, but we don't want to keep you much longer. We really do appreciate your time, knowing that this is the most inopportune time to take an hour of it. So there was a social media exchange that made me laugh because I am the same way. I think it was Stearns was in on it, a couple former teammates, just about the difficulty of getting a hold of your friends. Sometimes you just can't get a text read, but I want to know how many unread emails you have right now.
Unread?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can I check?
Yeah, good check.
I think you can. I don't think it'll close out of this.
Okay, let's see.
We're rolling the dice here. Oh no.
No, we're good. We're good. He's still in here. When he gets back on, we're good. He's gonna come back with an answer.
There we go.
23,000.
So when they're having this conversation, they're saying you're the issue. Is what they're trying to say.
Hey, no, I can't be the issue because why would you don't email me, bro? Like
I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Why are we emailing each other?
That's crazy. Look, you are the ultimate friend. If you can't get to my phone and you decide to email me, you're the ultimate friend. Like you're really trying to get in touch with me, and I'm gonna feel super, super bad because I'm like, okay, you didn't even. Okay, there's so much social media going on nowadays. Right. So like, I'll almost look at you sideways. You messaging me on TikTok because I don't even get on TikTok. So I looked at you sideways. But for you to email me, that means you are in trouble. You are in trouble. Yeah. Like you're stranded somewhere. You need help. So
yeah,
you
need
keep
help. The email for like the friend you haven't seen it. And, well, even that's crazy. Maybe that's the Facebook message.
Yeah,
the email
physically, or you need help mentally.
Right.
One or two. Right. One of the two.
Yeah.
So,
it's like you didn't get my fax. No, I didn't get your fax.
Oh my god. Yo.
Yeah, I'm sure mine's not any better.
Oh my god. I would like to know y'all. So y'all trying to put me on the spot.
No, mine's crazy.
63K. I just checked while you answered. I mean, I'm considerably worse. I never check my email. I only look at it for work stuff. So it's
how many ads are you signed up for? 63K.
I don't put anything because I don't use my email. I haven't like gone through and filtered it out.
Hey,
so like all the Facebook things, like the Twitter notifications get emailed to there. It's a nightmare.
Yeah. Do y'all ever go buy something like from a new spot and they be like, hey, what's your email? I'm like, are y'all gonna send me ads and stuff? They're like, yeah, we are. So you don't I don't want any ads. Just give me the receipt and I can go about my business.
Right, exactly. Right. Yeah, right.
PJ is a straight shooter. He just knows exactly what he wants. His merchandise and to get out.
Hey, I'm not about to. Hey, I've been doing this too long now, so got a little experience.
Crazy.
That's hysterical. Mine's in the 6,000 range. I think it says 5,600. So not too bad, but don't email me either.
I got the ultimate. He said 63K. Yeah, I thought mine was bad, but
it's bad. It's bad. This is my motivation.
No, you got to delete the app or download or something. You can't click on all 63,000 emails. You got to.
That's an off-season project. I'll be ready by week 1.
Yeah, just delete the whole thing. Okay, lightning round here. A couple of questions. Apologies in advance. Are you ready?
Got you.
Would you beat a kangaroo in a one-on-one fight? Hand combat.
I definitely think so.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll put them things on the kangaroo.
Quick.
Man. I actually remember seeing a video of a guy. I don't know, a kangaroo was trying to attack a dog or something.
Yes.
Yeah. And like he kind of, gave him a little punch and it kind of like bounced off. Yeah, he got the light treatment that day because I'd have gave him like a little 3-piece combo with a side of fries and some beans and rice.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I gotta say, I think that might have demonstrated your connection with Caden better than even your earlier answer in the show. Because when we asked Caden, he said, "I'd bop a kangaroo," which is very similar to what you just said. And then he also cited the exact same video of the kangaroo getting punched by the guy as a reason for why he thought he could do that. So
I guess we got a little bit of telepathy, Like we got the preseason. I guess y'all can see that we got the preseason together. We got a little chemistry.
Connection. Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. This is what you get yourself into when you agree to do Let's Talk Broncos. Do you have, or who do you have winning the men's national championship game?
I'm going to go for Texas every single time.
Texas.
Yeah,
exactly. that's fair. That's fair. I can't argue with you.
And the crazy thing about it is I haven't watched a lick of basketball. So
right.
Yeah, somebody asked me, I don't care if they the 15th seed or the first seed, second seed, going with Texas. Come on. Going with Texas. I got to.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Crucified if I said somebody else.
Yeah, right, exactly right. Got the clip.
yeah. Texas all day.
We would clip that and put it on our Instagram, but that's okay. Well, you haven't been watching basketball, but do you have a favorite for NBA MVP, and why is it Nikola Jokic?
Why is it him?
Yeah, why is it?
I'm just kidding.
Tag him into the corner.
Hey, it's just like look, I feel like I'm getting backed into a corner because, I got the Denver fans. They're watching this. They tapped in. It's like if I don't pick Jokic, it's like you're crucified for that. So I'm gonna stay on Jokic.
Yeah,
I'll take the smarter road. But I don't know. This dude, when I first seen him, Justin Simmons actually took me to like my first courtside game. He was like, "Yeah, bro, you gotta come see it." It's like you hear like the interactions between the players and how they cussing out the refs. And we actually went to the Warriors versus the Nuggets game, and this man Jokic was like unstoppable. It was unstoppable. I don't really I'm into basketball, but I don't really watch it until like the playoffs.
Right.
And this man was unstoppable. Like it looks so easy for him. He's like so finesse and nonchalant when he plays. Mm-hmm. And he's just like he's dropping shots like it's nothing. And I think he might have had 30-40 points in the game I went to, but it was just like I don't know, it was just like easy for him. And I don't know, but as far as that, man, it's just his athleticism and like I said, his finesse, his footwork, his post moves, his passing ability. You don't really see that out of a big man a lot, and who can really like take over a game. And to be honest, like I probably would pick Jokic. I'm a real Steph Curry fan too, but I would pick Jokic for sure. Just from that scene that I had in my what I saw that day. So I don't really know how you go here, but just from that, it's just like that was freakish. Especially at his size too.
Yeah, you picked the only correct answer there, so we appreciate that. But all right, who wins here? Who wins here? 1-on-1, you and Caden are playing basketball. Who's win? We'll go make it, take it to 11. Who's coming out with the W?
I'm gonna take me every time. I'm gonna take me. I can't just say, look, I give this man a lot of credit already. Like, it's for once, I'm gonna be selfish. I'm gonna say me. I'm gonna say me.
We're gonna need to see that 1-on-1.
We're gonna video it. Y'all can come out, bring the cameras, and air out a show or something like that. We can do that.
We'll produce the whole thing. We'll make you, look like you're all over the place.
Yeah, we'll hire craft services. We'll get trailers for all of it. Man, we will do it up.
Yeah.
The last question, I want to kind of open the floor to you to speak about all of your efforts in the communities. Last time we spoke, you were just about to head out to Beaumont, Texas to do the youth community football camps for the folks out there. Can you just talk about its importance and anything else that you want to let Broncos country know about kind of just your giving back efforts and your time here as a Denver Bronco? It's all yours, and then we'll let you go.
Okay. Well, actually, right now, crazy you say that. This morning, I got a text message from some people a foundation I am partnering with, Bam Fam Foundation, and they sent me a flyer of my camp that's going on this year. So it'll be the 3rd annual, I would say, 3rd or 4th. I can't even remember right now. So the years are going by so fast. But anyway, it'll be another free camp. This year we got like the city of Beaumont involved in it. At least we're attempting to. We had some conversations with the mayor and everything. So so we're hoping to expanding that this year and having more partnerships, having more like small businesses a part of it, and kind of having this year kind of adding an element of like a not an amusement park, but like bounce houses and snow cones, kind of like a miniature fair in a way, like in a parking lot of the stadium we'll be at. So I'm trying to find new ways. It'll be like the same, camp strategy, but as far as like just bringing other people in, bringing like just community together, have them set up their business like right outside the stadium and kind of having like a fairgrounds type of look, to where the kids can have fun right after the camp. Now, the biggest thing with that is it's like we got to find like a time to where like it's not as hot.
Right.
So yeah, my first partnership will be with somebody that can provide some water. And maybe some cool packs. So I'm trying to run it back with that. That's gonna be like my go-to every year. Love giving back, and at least from a camp's perspective, and showing the kids, I don't know if it's girls or boys, just coming out there and compete and just have fun being around other NFL players, college players, and just people that have made it out of Beaumont, even basketball players. We have some basketball players that's doing really well. We got one guy, his name Wesley Yates. He's going to Washington. He's committed to Washington right now for basketball, and they actually just lost a round before they went to state, but they didn't. They two-peat. It was about to be three-peat this year, but they ended up losing. But that's talking a little bit. But yeah, I want to kind of get into toy drives and doing the turkey drives and sponsoring a family this year for Christmas. Getting them whatever they need. Somebody that's like less fortunate, maybe one or two. Just start off with. But yeah, man, I'm all about giving back. I'm provided with this new opportunity with new money, and I want to pick up the people that's not as fortunate, and help them understand, man. There's somebody out there to care for them. There's somebody out there that's looking out, that's willing to give some type of insight, encouragement on dreams, because I'm living out my dream right now, just never really like content with where I am. So I'm always working hard to, get to my ultimate goals, creating new goals, and people might think I'm crazy. So, I'm pretty sure somebody can, relate to that. Like they have a dream at a young age and people tell them like, man, look, you're from this area and it's not, the probability you making it is not really big, but hey, look, I did it. So I'm a walking testimony. So that's kind of like my mindset when I'm giving back.
Man, I love that, man. That's cool. That's really cool, man. PJ, I gotta say it. I think you brought us our favorite episode of Let's Talk Broncos to date. We appreciate you having we really do appreciate you coming on, second time guest. And then congratulations again on coming back with the Broncos, man. We're all stoked you're back.
No doubt. I'm super excited. Like I said, man, just want to continue to develop as a player, as a man, and one day, man, y'all see me, start NFL safety. So,
Yes, sir.
hey, man, like you can clip that. I know it's gonna happen
Yes,
one
sir.
day. So, just kind of waiting on it. So, but I thank God, for the opportunity you guys are giving me, and just the opportunity that He's given me to, extend my career.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. Couldn't have wrapped the show any better. Thank you so much, PJ Locke, for joining Let's Talk Broncos. And hopefully we can make it a three-peat at some other point when you're obviously not in season. We thank you so much for the tremendous answers. And we will see the Let's Talk Broncos community on Monday. Take care, guys.
Okay, see you guys.
Bye.
See you, PJ.